Hello and welcome to another episode of Productivity Mastery, and this week is really an exciting edition because this week we're going to take everything that you did way back in October to start planning next year, 2019, and we're going to start turning them into actual achievable goals. Now, this means that there is roughly about 2 weeks left of 2018, so now is certainly the time to get your pens and pieces of paper out or your digital applications out and to start planning how you are going to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Now, the first thing I need to point out is what you're going to have to do is that list that you started creating in October is probably now going to be a huge list. If you've done it properly, you should have a lot of things on there about the things you want to change about yourself, the things you want to change about the way you work, the things you want to change about your lifestyle, the things you want to actually achieve next year. Now that list will probably be quite long now. What you need to do now is to take that list and to stop adding to it immediately, because now is not the time to be adding to that list. If there are things that you want to actually add now, today, think of it like today is the last day you can add to that list, because from now on we're going into full-on planning mode. Now, if you watched the episode of Productivity Mastery last week, the week before, I explained about being realistic in terms of what you can achieve in 1 year. Now remember, most people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year and tend to underestimate what they can achieve in a decade. And when it comes to achieving those big goals, those big life-changing goals, it's not just one thing that you have to do, it's more of a habit, or if you like, a ritual that you need to change and start adopting new habits and practicing them every single day. As the late great Jim Rohn always said, success is just a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And that's what we need to do in order for you to achieve your goals. So let me just give you an example. Let's say that one of your goals is to start saving money. Now, quite a lot of people I know are terrible at saving money. So let's say you decided, now I'm going to get serious, I'm going to start saving money. Now, how do you do that? Well, the way to do that is to stop spending money first. But that's probably a little bit unrealistic. We do have to eat, we do have a social life, we should travel, we may have to commute. So what are we going to do? Well, what we need to do is we need to reduce the spending that we make every week. So what I did a couple of years ago was I looked at what I was spending on a daily basis, and I noticed that I was spending quite a lot of money at Starbucks. So one of the things I decided to do, just as an experiment actually, was to reduce my Starbucks consumption by 1 grande cappuccino per day. That was saving me round about $5 a day. Remember, it's a grande cappuccino. Now, what happened then was, at the end of every week, I would put in $35 into my savings account. Now, what I actually did was, rather than just putting cash to one side, I started just sending $35 every week to my savings account. Actually, at the end of the year, I was getting close to $2,000 saved. And I'd actually, by the end of the second year, which is this year, now we're getting very, very close to just over $4,000 just saved by reducing 1 cup of grande cappuccino every single day. But there are other ways that you can do this. If one of your goals is to exercise and lose some weight. Now that could be considered 2 separate goals, lose weight and start exercising. But actually, if you combine the two, you actually get a win-win, because if you start exercising more regularly, you are automatically going to lose weight. Now, the mistake that most people make is, yes, they'll go out there and they'll join a gym, or they'll say, I'm going to start jogging, so they'll go out and buy the running shoes. Great, but the real question is, when are you going to do it? That's the key. Rather than going out and spending your money on gym membership and running shoes and running equipment, the first thing you need to do is decide, how are you going to build this into your weekly schedule? Now, it could be that on your list you want to start waking up a little earlier every day. Now you've got an opportunity where you say, okay, I'm going to wake up, instead of waking up at 7 a.m. every morning, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. And also on your list, you've got to get to exercise and to lose weight. Now there's a possibility here of combining 3 goals that you have for next year into one. You wake up at 6 a.m. What are you going to do? I know, I'm going to start exercising. Now what you can do is you can start off with some light general exercise, particularly if you've not exercised for a very, very long time. But make sure that every morning, Monday to Friday, give yourself the weekends off, that between 6 and 7 a.m. that is your exercise time, and nothing will stop you from exercising. So if you wake up one morning at 6 o'clock and you feel a bit tired and your muscles are really sore and you're achy, then just do light exercising. Maybe go out for a brisk walk somewhere, or maybe just do a few push-ups if you're reasonably fit, maybe a few planks, whatever it is, but just do some exercise. The key here is not changing something and then not doing it ever again. The key here is to develop the habits and the rituals. So as part of your morning routine between 6 and 7 a.m., that's your exercise hour, and that's what you're going to do. Likewise, if one of the things that you really want to start doing, a change about yourself, is to start meditating, well, build that into a certain point of the day. So you might say, okay, I'm going to do 20 minutes meditation between 10 p.m. and 10:20 p.m. every evening. And you look at your calendar and you schedule it on your calendar. No matter what it is that you want to do in terms of your goals, the key is to use your calendar and to schedule time regularly on that calendar to make sure it happens. Now remember, what goes on your calendar gets done. And when you apply that rule and you combine that with achieving your goals next year, that's when things become incredibly powerful. Now, it's not difficult to do this. The difficulty, of course, is motivating yourself some days to go out and do that exercise, or to study that language, or to read around that particular subject. Whatever it is, though, you can make it possible by scheduling time on your calendar and making sure it happens consistently over a period of time. That kind of brings me back to my principle of PACT, which is be patient, take action, be consistent, and allow enough time for whatever it is that you want to achieve next year to happen. Just be patient. Make sure you're taking the action, and make sure that whatever action you're taking, you are being consistent week after week after week. Remember, the year is 52 weeks. This is not a 52-hour program. This is planning for 2019. We want to make full use of that 52 weeks. Which brings me to the final point. The final point of this is, don't try and achieve everything all at once. Now, if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I told you how you're going to plan out the year into 6 major project groups of 8-week cycles. And that's what you want to be thinking about now. So you take the list that you created in October, you look at what 6 things do you want to achieve next year, and then you build them into that 6-week or the 8-week cycle with the 2 weeks off. So you're building that project to build those habits, build those rituals, but just stagger it out through the year so you're not trying to do too much at once. One of the biggest problems in most people's lives today is the sheer amount of stuff they want to do, which leads to overwhelm, and overwhelm leads to inaction and procrastination. When you spread things out over a nice, gentle period of time, you are still going to achieve what you want to achieve over the 52 weeks. Okay, hopefully that's given you some ideas about how you want to plan out 2019. If you want to go into a lot more detail, then please take a look at my ultimate guide to achieving your goals. I'll put a link in the show notes below. It's an amazing course that will take you through everything you need to do step by step by step, and it will really help you guys to turn 2019 into the best year you've ever had. That's my ultimate Guide to Achieving Your Goals. It's an amazing course. This year, I think it's been one of my most popular online courses. Many people have taken it, and it does really help you guys to develop and build your goals so that they are achievable. And by the end of the year, you are going to be so much momentum behind you that even 2020 will be better than 2019. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching this episode. It just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked what you saw and you would like to learn more about becoming better organized and more productive, then get yourself enrolled in my free beginner's guide to creating your own COD system. And if you'd like to learn more about how I can help you, then visit my website at carlpullein.com. All the details are in the show notes below.